Hello and welcome to the Denver Senior Resource Channel. My name is Chelsea. I'm the owner and nurse of Maintain Me Senior Services. If you've been following along with us for the last couple of weeks, we are doing a new series for us, and we are introducing you to our team and interviewing each of our team members so that you can see all the different specialties and background that we bring to the table, so that when you are looking and learning and educating from us, you know where we come from and why we are asking you to trust Maintain Me. So today we are on week 3, and I have the privilege of interviewing Julie. If you haven't seen some of our other videos, go check it out. She does do a lot of videos on our home safety program. That's her specialty, as well as transition coordinator. So today we're going to interview Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Okay, Julie, we've been doing the same questions across the board for all the team members, and taking this information and posting it along all of our, website, social media, and everything, so people can get to know us and what makes Maintain Me. So if you're okay, we're just going to jump into it.
Oh, I'll take a guess.
All right, here we go. Okay, Julie. So the first question is, what brought you into this career?
Well, it's a long kind of winding road, but it ended up with having to find assisted living for family members and friends. And so it was a road to get there, and it's where I ended up, and I love it. So it turned out to be a great move, I think. I don't know what you think, but it's what I think.
Well, we love you, Julie. And then what made you think that you wanted to be on this side of it?
Because of the difficulty, but coming from a family point of view, it was like, no, I want this, what about this? It's so many questions that you don't really think about, and some of it you don't think about until after you've made a move, or it's like, oh, you know what, I wouldn't have moved to this particular apartment because I really enjoy doing the activities, and I'm the farthest apartment from the activities, or I'm farther from the elevator than I ever wanted to be, or it's kind of looking at the whole picture.
Yeah, coming from a perspective, that's awesome to be able to say, you know what, I want to help people with what I went through, which is awesome. Okay, question number 2 is, tell us a little bit about the roles you have performed along your career path.
Well, I've worked with children and adults with developmental disabilities or intellectual disabilities, and I did that for years. And I also worked with school systems, and then I worked for the National Stroke Association. So after I had a friend that had a stroke, then I got interested in stroke and how that it was such a new. A stroke is something that happens to you, to everyone that's around the person that had the stroke, and how it affects, and the ripple effect. And assisted living is kind of the same thing, working with seniors. It's not just one person you're working with, it's the whole family and the ripple effect. So it's having to dive in and really look into some of those things and how they affect not only the person, but the whole family.
That's awesome. An interest in like what's happening to other people, like all the people around you, and then saying, you know what, I'm going to step up and I'm going to learn all about that. That's awesome. Okay, question number 3. What's your favorite part about your role now?
It's working with the families. Like, I just came from a great working with a family, and it started off being a consult, and it may just roll into them moving, because that may end up being the best solution. I also assessed the home a little bit to see how safe it was for the gentleman to live there, to make his family feel better. And yeah, it may end up being a move as opposed to trying to bring everything into the home.
Wow, what a great perspective to be able to give that family. I spoke with that same family in the beginning, and they were like, I want to stay at home. But for you to be able to bring your expertise to the table and say, okay, well, is that really the best thing? And then for you guys to be able to come to a conclusion is obviously shows your experience and all that you bring to the table. So, okay, number 4, leading into this actually perfectly, is, what do you specifically bring to this industry?
Like the family background, having to go through this, and how emotional it can be, and the ups and downs, and the trials and the errors, and what works, what doesn't work. And that works at the same, and then having somebody if you look at it as somebody that's ambulatory, that's, able to get around, if someone's in a wheelchair, how's that a different perspective? Getting on that level, literally, and trying to get around into an apartment. Is this a good place to be, or is this a safe place to be? Is my home still safe? What can I do to keep my home safe for me, so my family doesn't worry, so I'm not having to push buttons for people to come help me? And it's that overall, and then knowing, dealing with the Stroke Association, which then rolled into American Heart Association. So it's like getting all that background and just working with families. I mean, I've always worked with families. I have not worked with just individuals, because everything I've done has always been a whole family kind of approach.
Love that. Okay, well, I know you're always busy with Maintain Me and you give us your full devotion, but the fifth question is, when you're not working with Maintain Me, what brings you joy?
I still enjoy volunteering for the Stroke Association, and I love volunteering for Project Angel Heart, delivering meals to people that are medically fragile and at home still, trying to keep them home. I work for a lab rescue, and because that's silly lab rescue, I have a lab at my house, and she runs us around, and I would say she is joy. I'm afraid to look, but she likes the BALL a lot, and so walks. She makes us take breaks.
That's good.
Yeah.
Breaks is good.
Sometimes it's like we need to go boating, so she has big breaks. She has big ideas.
I love it. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you haven't checked out the other two series, we, did interview week number 1 with myself. And then it was Morgan. We had Julie this week. And then next week we are going to go behind the scenes and introduce you to Josie, who is our office manager. So thank you for joining, and we will see you soon, hopefully.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.